This is the iconic White House from a distance. Yes, let's say hello to the US President. Yes, most powerful person. So the iconic White House, and they have President Trump is the 45th and 47th President of the United States of America. And we're starting from George Washington, and then the US has really, leading the world in technology, management, in finance, in many areas. Right? Many of the products that we use have originated in the United States through the great iconic American companies, and yes, it's been really great. Yeah, like if you take the social media like the Facebook, Google. Twitter, all these are companies that have originated in the United States, and then Coca-Cola. We drink Coca-Cola. We drink Pepsi. When we are flying, we use Boeing aircraft. Right? So many of the icons, like if you go to McDonald's or KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, all this, most iconic brands that we use, movies that we see, Universal Pictures, Warner Brothers, Disney parks, all of us love Disney, right? So all these have kind of originated in the United States, a great country with great technological progress in the past 100, 200 years, a great beacon of kind of democracy in the free world, as they call it, right? The new world. So and this is the area where we are walking is near the Washington Monument, the obelisk behind me, and then the open ground, and then we'll sleep to the White. So the White House is the house of the United States President, who has the term of 4 years, and every 4 years the United States President is elected. So and every 2 years, the House of Representatives, the members are elected. So that way, this is like in a democracy, as I was telling you. The U.S. Capitol, Congress has is a bicameral legislature, meaning that there are two houses, and then with 435 members in the House of Representatives, and 100 members in the House of the Senate, which is called the Senate. And these two together have the U.S. Congress, and then there are 6 non-voting members. And a great democracy example of how human ingenuity can really reach greater heights, and the progress of the United States, and and many of the decisions made here impact the whole world in a way sometimes. And US leads the world in many areas. I was working in China before, so many. Many technological companies. US has 50 states, and then many iconic states such as California is the place where most of the new tech evolution happened. These are amazing. America is a great country, as President Trump often points out. America is the greatest country. And so this is the iconic area. You have the Eisenhower building here, and these are all government buildings. A lot of the government departments, and the really iconic place in the world. I mean, US, these 50 states, and then in Hawaii and Alaska are there's a contiguous 48 states, and then you have Hawaii and Alaska. Alaska came from Russia in the 19th century. And as I was, United States, US is the leading country in terms of technology in the movies that we see, right? All our favorite Star Wars, Marvels, all these, originated in the US with these iconic companies, and US is also called the beacon of capitalism in a way that when what humans could achieve, over the capital. And if you see the world from that angle, the capitalism and communism angle, and then what can be achieved with pure human spirit, and if you see And so many things that we use in our daily life experiences. And it's really kind of So this is the periphery of the White House that we are seeing, and then there's the Eisenhower House. So White House has been, as President Trump is the 45th and 40 has been the 45th, and now is now currently the 47th president. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes, right in front of the most powerful place on earth, in the most powerful capital and the most powerful country, America called the superpower. And so first of all, let's say hello to the president. And then yes, this is the iconic White House. I have been kind of dying to see this for many decades now, and finally the time has come. So White House has been the house of U.S. presidents for nearly more than 200 years, and the present occupant is President Donald Trump. And as he often says, America is the greatest country on earth. So yeah, iconic White House, and this is a seat of power, and where the decisions here or in the capital outside there to impact the whole world in a way. Because we know America, and most of us use America touches our lives every day in our life. Like we drink Coke or Pepsi, or you use Facebook, Twitter, Google, YouTube, or whatever. I mean, when you are flying the Boeing planes, or every aspect of it, and great. I mean, America is a great technological superpower, and many technological inventions. Over the past 200 years, technology, finance, management, software. Whatever you talk about it, it's a great country, and then it impacts our lives, and we use this product service of this great country every day. And so this is iconic White House. I've been really dying to see this. This is the closest that we could get to the White House, and yeah, it's the iconic White House. To see this for a long time, and it happened I don't have done that much. But think of the office, and as well as the residence of the most powerful man on earth, the American president. The decisions made here or in the capital impact almost the whole world. Huge one so when knowing when we drink Coke or Pepsi, or or McDonald's, so this is the iconic White House, and it has been the residence for more than 200 years of the US president. And then this is all the government area. So the Washington DC, the District of Columbia. Then there is iconic Washington Monument, and it's a obelisk, and this magnificent area. This is the most powerful area on earth. So that's.
go gliding in the one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up the beat. Jingle around the clock. Mix and mingle in the jingling feet. That's the jingle bell rock. Jingle bell time is a swell time to go riding in the one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up the beat. Jingle around the clock. Mix and a mingle in the jingle beats the jingle bell. That's the jingle bell rock. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse sleigh.
对，而不是为了这个用的中国造型。有点类似于，比如说江西省，不要江西省，叫江西革命，一听就是那种爷爷辈的人。
Feels we go riding all the way. Yeah, they're building the ballroom in the White House, right? Some construction going on. The construction is going on in the White House and they're building the ballroom. Yeah. And then these are the other government buildings adjacent to the White House, the Eisenhower building. I don't know the name of this building. And then this is all the government area in Washington, D.C. Yeah.
Washington DC is the District of Columbia. Columbia is the personification of America as a female personification. And then America is also called Uncle Sam because I think it's a political connotation. And yeah, these are all iconic, the government buildings. Almost every major every capital has these kind of, government buildings that are very nearer to the president's house, the parliament, or the national stuff. And then we see the iconic. Then there will be Supreme Court, and the different departments like the Department of Labor, Department of Foreign Affairs, Department of Education, Department of Agriculture, all these ministries and departments. And then these are used for administering the whole country. And that's how it is. It is administered, the whole country, right? Because United States are 50 states, so many countries have these states, and then those states also have assemblies, and that's how the states and then states together constitute the country. Some countries may be too small; they may not have states, but generally, this is how government buildings. This is a nice statue of somebody is on a horse. And then this small park, kind of. We're just walking around the White House. It's a really nice area. In summer, it will be so good because the trees will be greener, and this is just before Christmas. And then so that's how it is usually done. The iconic. I like the some trolley kind of tour. Hop on, hop off all day. Right. And then we see this iconic White House. The area around it, we are seeing, these are all government buildings in that Alexander Hamilton Road, probably. And then, they have been, President Trump is the 47th president of the United States. And now, so there have been 46 presidents, including President Trump was also the 45th president. And US president is, the president of the United States is a very iconic position, very powerful man on earth, man or woman. And then, they sign a series of what is known as executive orders, and then the president signs many of those executive orders, and then then there are formal processes to come through the House of Representatives, the Senate, and what are known as the bills, and then those must be signed. And these are all the formal parliamentary process in many countries where they have this democratic form of government. Generally, the parliament or the assemblies, they debate and discuss the bills, what is known as the bills that are tabled in the house. Then there are a lot of discussions and debates, and then this is called the Hotel Washington. It's looking good, actually. It's a colonial. What I mean is traditional building. Now these buildings with this Roman architecture everywhere in the world. These European architecture kind of buildings. They're iconic. This is Hotel Washington. So if you stay here, you can say hello to the president. And then these are the different the government buildings with these colonnades, the Roman arch colonnades, and the European architecture kind of, right? And then so what happens is once it is and then America follows a presidential form of government system, in which you have the president is elected once in 4 years. It's in November the election takes place, and then every 2 years, these members of parliament or the representatives are elected. And in America there are two primary parties for the Republicans and the Democrats, and both have, of course, they have different philosophies, and they have different and they're called the blue and red. Republicans is the red and Democrats are the blue. So people vote based on based on the issues. In the democracy, issues are discussed and debated, and then a lot of which issue predominates at that point of time. People so make their choice in the voting, called as the adult franchise, and then once the people are elected. Here, America, the president is elected. So, and then there is more system called as the electoral college. It's a bit complicated system. It's not so easy to really describe the system, but then president is elected, and the president presides over the 4 years, and so we almost, because we follow the news every day, and almost we see the White House every day in a way, because White House is like every day on the news, and the president makes some decisions, announcements. Many heads of state meets the American president, and then a lot of issues involving the whole planet are deliberated here, and then a lot of announcements and a lot of. So we see the White House from the side now, and so that's the reason it's the most powerful and happening place on earth. So White House, I think, has 6 floors, and then there are East Wing and West Wing, and now they're doing construction in this part, which is they're building a ballroom. And then White House has obviously has there are many presidents have changed many things, and I was seeing one documentary in which they were showing how things are moved when a president changes from one president to the another, and I think they should do it within 6 hours or something. This is the Pennsylvania Avenue, and the old president, I think he leaves about 11 o'clock. The new president comes, and there are these some conventions, and whenever a new president takes over. So these are very interesting conventions, and it's called a Geffen Hall. So beautiful. I mean, these European style buildings, I love them actually. And the president moving, and then when the new president, he's elected in November, right? And then he's chosen in November, and then he has about 3 months to really, hand over and transfer or transition to the new president. And then generally on the January 20th of January, I think it's a fixed date more or less generally, because whichever presidents I have been following, generally they have transitioned on that date. And then the new president takes over. So the old president moves away from the White House, and the new president takes over. So it's and then I think in the documentary they showed they have a few hours to really do this whole transition, and then amazing people again work in the White House, and there is a lot of state visits by presidents and all these people, right? And then what happens is, in a state visit is invited by the president. So when the president himself or herself invites another head of state, like the prime minister, president, or the king of another state, and then a lot of honors are given in that, and then there are the state banquets, state lunches and so on, and state visits happen. So a lot of things happen, because America is like influential power in the whole world, so it's often referred to as a superpower. America. And because America is really influential and has its power and influence all over the world, so so every step president comes here and meets the American president. Then they have these discussions and deliberations sometimes in the White House itself, and then they announce many policies and changes and so on. And it is a convention that has been going in at least for the past 200 plus years, and more significantly for the past 100 years. And then we are just moving around the White House actually. So this is iconic. And then the White House also has this press secretary, and press secretary holds press conferences. Many questions the press and other people ask many questions, and then the questions are answered. Questions range from whatever is of interest for that moment, or anything. And then even inside the White House, sometimes the president conducts a press conferences. And then it has a huge impact. They ask many questions about the world and how does the president viewpoints and how does the president see them. And so what happens is then that's how and the communication in the White House press secretary conducts these communications, and then the press need to have accredited and certified to enter the White House press conferences. And then they can ask various questions, because America is a democracy and often called the leader of the free world. So there's a lot of freedom, and people can ask. The basic premise of a democracy is the freedom of expression, basically. And then democracy, majority is chosen, right? Majority is voice wins. That's a basic kind of a tenet, or and to implement that into place, you have the voting system. And then so this is the another side of the White House. It's barricaded, because it's a security zone. And I was seeing in the documentary about one can actually even visit inside the White House, but that's like a big complicated procedure. People are vetted, and the checks and background checks and so on. And so beautiful. We are on the other side of the White House now. So this is the closest you can get to the White House. And so there's a lot of processes and procedures, and so you have the press conferences and all this stuff that happen, and then the president signs many executive orders that have both national and international implications and influence and impact. And this is the St. John's Church just behind the White House. And it's there is one presidential, not the presidential church, but some, after swearing in, the president actually attends that church. I'm not getting the name. Probably it is this same one. And then you see the White House from the other side. And these are the great, some of them are really colonial, kind of not colonial, but traditional buildings. European architecture buildings. I love them actually. Whenever I see them, I really. Right. This is the White House. We can get more closer, I think, this side.